Thank you for joining us today. My name is James Andrews. I'm with Golden Triangle Resource Conservation Development here in Southwest Georgia. And today I'm joined by Garrett Morris. Garrett is a district conservationist for the National Resource Conservation Services here in Georgia. Thank you for joining us today, Garrett.
No problem at all.
Garrett, can you tell us a little bit about who is NRCS?
NRCS, like you said, is the Natural Resources Conservation Service. We are the flagship technical agency for the United States Department of Agriculture. So it's our job to help landowners address any resource concerns that may be needing addressing on the land.
What is your job as a district conservationist with NRCS?
The district conservationist position is very diverse, as it should be with the nature of our responsibilities. So we address resource concerns in cropland, forestry, grazing, and I have a diverse group of staff that work under me to help manage contracts, take any applications, and most importantly, write conservation plans.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your staff and maybe any specialists you may have working for you?
Sure. We have our local folks, which include county employees and soil and water conservation district employees, as well as soil conservation technicians and soil conservationists.
Talking about the soil, can you give us a little bit of detail about the importance of soil to agriculture and anything that NRCS may do with soil?
Right. Soil is a medium for folks in agriculture to produce what we need to produce. That includes not just cropland, but also our livestock, pasture, and trees, etc. A large part of what our soil does is hold moisture.
With soil moisture, are there any programs through NRCS that assist in soil moisture?
Right. We have the CSP program, which is the Conservation Stewardship Program, and the EQIP program, which is Environmental Quality Incentives Program. Now, through the EQIP program, we have some practices that can address resource concerns for each one of the land uses that I mentioned earlier, one of them being soil moisture monitors.
Can you tell us a little bit about soil moisture monitors and their importance in this?
Right. Soil moisture monitors, as the name implies, help monitor soil moisture, which is a necessary part of producing our agricultural commodities. So we can know how little or how much water is or moisture is in the soil. It also plays an important role in managing the nutrients that are needed to get a high yield with low inputs on our agricultural operations.
Are there any other impacts that soil moisture monitors may have, say perhaps with erosion or even just general water conservation?
Right. As I mentioned, soil moisture monitors help us take a look at how little or how much soil moisture is there on the site. So with too much soil moisture or too much water, it can lead to erosion. Soil moisture monitors also help landowners take a look at how much irrigation is needed. So if there's too little, they know when to irrigate their crops.
Are there any other programs, aside from soil moisture, that NRCS has to assist the agricultural community?
Right. Through these programs, EQIP and CSP, we have different practices that can help address several different resource concerns. We have soil moisture monitors, as I mentioned. We also have things that help on pasture land, including fencing, livestock pipeline, water troughs, heavy use areas. We also help on forest land, plant trees, do prescribed burning. And on dry crop land, we also look into doing cost incentive on cover crop and terraces and waterways.
With cost incentive and cost sharing, are there any differences in the way that those work between different farmers?
Right. Whoever applies for cost share through NRCS programs is eligible for 75% cost share at least. But if you fall into the historically underserved group, you're eligible for 90% cost share.
Can you tell us who qualifies as historically underserved in this program?
Right. Historically underserved can be one of four groups. It can be low income. It could also be veterans, beginning farmers, and socially disadvantaged. Now, socially disadvantaged can include African Americans, Hispanic, Asian Americans, etc.
Great. When it comes to someone wanting to be part of an NRCS program, what are the steps that they would need to take?
Right, it's fairly simple. The most important step, I think, is to get in touch with your local USDA Service Center. We're located in most counties across the nation. You can look on farmers.gov for our contact information, get familiar with those folks in the office, and submit an application. The application is roughly 5 pages long, so 10 questions. So the only thing that stands between you and these great opportunities is 10 questions.
Thank you so much for joining us, Garrett, and thank you for joining us today, too.